Hello everybody, Mr. the Vestman here, bringing you level 3, the Magus quarters, Magus, however you wish to say that. And this level is very interesting. This is going to be the first level where you're really put to the test. I suggest a minimum level, at least of 7 or 8. You should probably be 10 plus though at this point in the game. And if you're playing with either the Squire or the Apprentice, the first thing you're going to want to do is set up barricades, as you have seen here. I use the magic ones. I have a Squire with me, but I just use the magic ones just because. And you're probably not going to have enough mana, depending on who you're playing as, to fully set up your defenses. So what you want to do is also set up as much as your defense as you can. So if you don't have the fireball turrets yet, or if you don't have the appropriate Squire, Monk, Hunter stuff, just use your basics and just do the best you can with what you have. You're going to want to use these choke points. The staircase is the best. I've seen people put them in other locations, but the reason you see them at the top is because that's a much better choke point looking down. When you're facing downwards, that's a much better way to control the enemy than just looking level. Plus, there will be turrets later on. If you're the Squire and you're a little further along in levels, you have the bowling ball turret. The fireball turret's really good when it's looking downwards. And this choke point is really solid because it's one. You're bringing 2 into 1. Now the only thing you need, there's the bowling ball turret. It's a really good turret, but you likely don't have it at this point. If you're playing by yourself, this level is going to be a very big challenge. Otherwise, if you're playing with multiple people, it's not going to be so hard because you just have one person cover each staircase. So as long as you've got 3 people, you're pretty well set. 2 people, I mean, you just got to be a little more cautious. Each wave, you're same as before. You're going to want to set up your basic defenses first. Then you're going to want to set up your offensive towers, and then you're going to want to start your upgrades. So here you can see at wave 3, I've got one offensive tower and 1 defensive barrier at all 3 staircases. You can see they're west, east, and south, left, right, and down. And that's going to hold you off for the first couple waves. Once again, I apologize. The wave counter, it might throw you off a little bit. So we're on 3 of 6 right now, and just a little cut. There's no use showing me just murderating everything. And now wave 4, you're going to want to set up anti-air because beware the wyverns. They are the new flying enemy. And you're going to want to point exactly how you see that yellow one right now. That's called a striker turret. Now, you don't have to use a striker. If you want to use a fireball, you can use a ballista, you can use magic missile. I'm thinking you can use the monk auras if they're big enough. You're going to want to place those at a 45-degree angle facing the way you saw, because there's the wyvern right there. I left this clip in, and he flies at that 45-degree angle towards the crystal. That's the only thing you really have to worry about there. Otherwise, you just progress through the waves. You should be fine. You don't need too much anti-air because there's not going to be many of them. Once again, make sure you can see here we have 1 defensive, 2 offensive per barrier. I suggest that as a general rule of thumb for any level. 1 defensive unit for every 2 offensive units. On wave 6, you can see we have the ogre, and this guy is going to be a little tougher than before, but you should be fine. He goes down without too much hassle. Even if you're at your lower levels, you should be okay if you're in a group. If you are solo, you have to be very careful once again with that guy. I highly suggest kiting him around. That's just drawing his attention away from everything else, and just kind of kiting him around, doing as much damage as you can without letting him hit stuff. But if you're in a group, you should be relatively okay. Your defenses at this point, you're starting to get some more stats. You're starting to get some better gear. Your defenses, you'll notice, will start to get beefier and better overall. You really shouldn't have a problem. Once again, like I said, a general rule of thumb for me, for every 1 defensive barricade, you can see here we have 2 offensive. We had 3 in that case. But that's the W for this level. Once again, if you want more specifics, if you want to find some more information out, please check out our full guide, very in-depth, at XBLAfans.com. Otherwise, I'm Mr. the Vestman, and that is all for today. We will see everyone next time.